Hey class, Mr. Bodin here with another calculus video to help you study for your limits test. This one has us analyze this graph and determine whether these statements are true or false. So the first one says the limit as x approaches a is equal to the limit as x approaches b of this function. So let's find what each one of those are. As I approach a, of course that implies from both directions. As I approach a from the left, it looks like my y values approach 2. And the same is true from the right. As I approach a from the right, I also get 2, which tells me that the limit as x approaches a of f of x, or this part of the problem, is in fact 2. For b, from the left of b, so value is slightly less than b, it looks like my function takes me up to, if I coming down here, to 2 again. And as I approach b from the other side, from the right, or value slightly more than b, I seem to approach 1. So from the left I get 2, and from the right I get 1. Those are different, so this limit does not exist. These two things are different, quite clearly, so the answer here would be false for the reasons I just verbalized. Similarly, for number 7, it asks us, is the limit as x approaches a of f of x 2? It is. As you approach a from the left and a from the right, in both cases, the function y values sort of pinch around the value 2 as you pinch around the x input of a. Likewise, for number 8, these sort of go in tandem. As you approach b, as we just said a couple of minutes ago, that this limit is non-existent because as you approach b from two sides, you get two different values. So the justification for a does not exist must be that you get two different values from either side, left and right. Number 9 says is a 1. Now you might think, well, aren't 8 and 9 kind of redundant? If we have 9, if you have 8, then why even ask number 9? The main idea here is to focus your attention to the fact that there is a value at b, and that value at b is 1. It's a filled-in dot here. So if I were to ask what is, for example, just type this here, if I were to ask what is f of b, it would be correct to say that f of b is in fact 1. But if you recall, a limit is not concerned with what is happening at a specific value, but rather approaching or near a specific value. So as you get close to b, you get different numbers depending on what side you approach it from. So that is also a false statement. Number 10, this is saying it does not exist, but if you recall earlier we established it does exist. As you approach a from both sides, you get 2. Now the reason people sometimes make a mistake here is that there is no value f of a. So just to note here, f of a is undefined, and it's important not to mix these two things up. The fact that at a there is no value is insignificant when considering the limit as x approaches a. As you approach a, you definitely get values, and those values from both sides are the same, and thus this limit does exist. It's 2, even though the value at a isn't present. Hope this helps.